Is that blocking your view?
You should.
Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Good job.
No.
Welcome to this evening's chapel service led by the IA Senior Women's Group on Store Island. We are a group of 25 older women who meet 2 or 3 times during IA week and once a month on Zoom throughout the year. We value confidentiality, which makes it possible to talk freely about what is on our minds and in our hearts. This group began several years ago when I invited 6 older women to join me in the small writing room to talk about our lives. We met twice that summer and again the next summer, proving that it was sustainable and needed. The following summer, 20 of us met twice in the Pink Parlor to be known and to know each other more deeply. For several years, Eleanor Jaffe has been our wonderful facilitator. We have a book group and have read and discussed 2 books together, Cast by Diane Wilkerson and The Love Songs of Dubois by Honoré. Please do not mistake cultural prejudice against the elderly for reality. We are strong, we are capable, we are beautiful. Despite diminishing hearing, balance, and other physical abilities, we are determined and resilient. We are intelligent, caring, and loving. Thank you.
Good evening. Wonderful to see so many of you here. You may be wondering, why a group just for older women? Well, we are a cohort. And as a cohort, we have lived through and been shaped by the same history. From the Depression, when I was born, through World War II with its draft of our fathers and uncles, and rationing at home, from the optimism of the creation of the United Nations, from images of the Holocaust and the atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then living through Korea, Vietnam, and all the other awful wars that we've been involved with. From Roosevelt, who was like a grandfather to me, to Trump as president, we have all been personally affected and shaped by our nation's history. Moreover, we now face the same or similar perplexing challenges connected to our growing old. So, who are we? And what distinguishes us? And what do we discuss? Some of us have lost lifelong companions, and aside from being lonely, we're not accustomed to facing life's challenges on our own. These challenges range from the most personal and fundamental to the more prosaic, as in how to cope with the complexities of the digital age by oneself. How do I negotiate all kinds of challenges that the two of us used to handle together, or that my dear mate handled totally on his or her own? Most, but not all of us, have retired from our professions. Most are college graduates, some with graduate degrees. Most of us have become teachers, nurses, and social workers. Those were the opportunities available to young women at the time. Most of us can no longer actively pursue sports, which used to be a great outlet. Our bodies, of course, are in decline. How do we preserve and enhance what we've got left? And what new opportunities, if any, remain? How can we accept what we cannot change? Then there's the question of, where do we live in these years? Do we move to a retirement community? Do we move in with an adult child? Do we take a chance on a new romantic partner? Where does love fit in? Our children, if we have them, are now middle-aged. Grandchildren may be in college or even beyond. Their futures in an unknown world worry us. How can we adjust to debilitating physical conditions? I, for instance, have a serious hearing loss, and hearing individual conversations in a crowded, noisy environment like our dining room is really a challenge, even with hearing aids, and I can't understand what anybody is saying. Or, how can we physically move when our legs or our backs have lost their function? So there is a lot of sadness, loss, and adjustments that are necessary. By offering sympathy and friendship, we become part of the remedies, if there are any. Our democracy, another subject, is imperiled, and we know that. And here we all women can take action. We can demonstrate, write postcards, make phone calls, and discussing possible actions and then following through is very empowering. To a woman, life has given us some triumphs and some disappointments, some defeats, losses, and necessary adjustments. We may choose to share some of these disappointments with our friends here at Star. Many of us have known each other over dozens of years. We are old friends, and I mean that both ways. I started coming to Star in 1970. That's a long time ago. With my husband, Bert, and a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. We women have watched one another's children, and now grandchildren grow up and bring their spouses and toddlers. Sometimes our group feels more like one large extended family, having annual reunions. But new Shoalers are always welcome to our family. We had a new person show up just today. Also, we are all older women trying something new. Think about that. So we older Star women take comfort from our companions. Sometimes we're able to laugh at disappointments, or cry, or both. We give and accept sympathy and kindness. We acknowledge fading capabilities. We hug a lot. And we treasure being together one more summer. And implicit is the question, how many more summers will they be?
We're going to sing together. The song is How Could Anyone Ever Tell You? It was written by Libby Broderick, who is a singer-songwriter from Alaska. And I don't want you to use your books. So I'm going to be the Pete Seeger up here, and I'm just going to yell the words out to you. We're going to sing it several times. The words don't change. They're not difficult. Susan's going to help us. How could anyone ever tell you? I'll sing it. How could anyone ever tell you anything less than beautiful? Anything less than beautiful. How could anyone ever tell you? You are less than whole. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. Do it again. How could anyone? You are anything less than beautiful. How could anyone ever tell you? You are less than whole, less than. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. See if you would do it with just me singing with you. How could anyone ever tell you you are anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you are less than whole? How could anyone ever notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Good evening. I'm Judy Williams. I arrived at IA in 1974, 51 years ago, with my husband Dudley, son Dan, 10 then, and son Brian, who celebrated his 4th birthday, July 24th, on Star Island, with Pam Thayer's preschool group. IA appealed to Dudley and myself for the interesting speakers, and children's program. As the week progressed, we discovered that STAR was much more than speakers and a children's program. Something was scheduled from early bird walks to night owls, and we tried to take advantage of it all. We were torn between the talkbacks with the speakers in Newton and the lively tennis matches supervised by George Stryker. We joined a workshop called PET, Parent Effectiveness Training. Yes. Absolutely. Where we met some of our lifelong friends on STAR. The spirit of STAR captured us, and we returned year after year, enjoying the natural beauty of the island, the morning talks and talkbacks, the art barn, and workshops. STAR offers something for everyone, from the quiet walks to quiet contemplation, and evening chapel, and enthusiastic softball games. In 1984, I was asked to join the IA committee, and as all committee members moved to chair of the committee. It was a lot of fun meeting the other members at each other's homes. The biggest challenge for the committee was finding outstanding speakers, such as Tom McNauer, who has become a lifelong friend. Another wonderful friend was Pastor Ken McLean, who was Minister of the Week and the greatest bridge player in the world. As the years progressed, our sons became involved in leadership positions on STAR. Dan serves on the Island Corporation Committee, and Brian was chair in 2017. Now, in 2025, 51 years since we arrived, we enjoy having family on STAR, children and their spouses, grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. Our great-granddaughter Lumina will celebrate her 4th birthday this week at STAR on Saturday, July 26th. As we sing Star Island is our spirit's home, we know that sooner rather than later, we will have our memorial stones added to the memorial garden, along with others who have paved the way for our family. We are thankful for the wonderful opportunities for growth and friendship that we have gained through the years of attending STAR. Thank you.
Wow, this is my first time to have this view. Okay. One STAR. As you rise through your own years, the day will come in time when you have become, well, some version of old. When we older women decided to meet together, and by older I mean 65, 70 and above, it felt odd to come into the pink parlor, push the chairs and sofas around until we could have a place and we could see who would walk in the door. We had no idea of what a deeply comfortable feeling it would be to close the door and simply be together as ourselves. We love being part of the swift currents of activities at STAR, delighting in the all ages energy that we do share. But when we self-select to join a quieter space together and share the awareness of our years, it has rewards. We recognize and listen to each other, we talk, we laugh, we share maybe an uncomfortable silence. now and then when we speak of someone who will not be joining us again, except in the way we understand that we are never really gone. And I have a poem that was written by one of our members. Ta-da. And I'll tell you after I read who wrote it. I think she's in the room. It is strange to feel younger at 80 than I did at 30 or 40. With my depression treated and places to swim both summer and winter, with acquaintances around me to help fill the gaps of my losses. With younger family around me to help fill the gaps of my losses. With scoliosis and arthritis in my joints, my body still rejoices. I have been luckier than I ever expected. I will make good compost. Thank you, Clarice.
I'd like to share with you a mode of meditation, a musical meditation. This is Nocturne by Edvard Grieg, and I invite you to close your eyes and sink into the sounds of night.
We are fairly new shoulders. We first came to Star in 2016 for an overnight to support our dear friend Ellen Brandenburg when she placed her husband George's memorial stone in the memorial garden. We came back to IA the following year for Brian Williams's Oceans Conference and have returned every year since except the COVID year. The senior women's group at Star has really enhanced my time here. Meeting with other women my age and honestly discussing the issues around aging and living well as an aging woman has been enriching, sometimes challenging, and overall a joy. We are women of like minds, though different habits, abilities, experiences, and opinions. And we support one another, even when we disagree. A wonderful UU minister we were lucky to experience, Mary Harrington, introduced me to the poetry of Mary Oliver. This poem, Wild Geese, conveys some of the spirit I find in our special group. And hopefully it'll come up faster than it seems to be right now. I apologize. Okay. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things.
It is lovely to see you all out there, supportive souls of this committee, group of people. These are some closing thoughts. Thank you, thank you. If ever it were true that we stand on the shoulders of all who come before us, tonight proves it. Thank you, all of my companions who spoke your truth this evening. When I come to Star Island, to these isles around here, I think of myself as standing on the shoulder of one who came before me, and that person is Celia Thaxter. If you don't know her, you will be rewarded by spending time with her. Her name is synonymous with creativity, harvest, from a lifetime in the 19th century of living on these isles and observing everything around her. Her perceptions are not only of the world of nature, if you read her poetry, not only of the world of nature, but of human understanding of self in nature. I stumbled, excuse me, I stumbled upon a story a few years ago that gives me another glimpse of the influence of Celia on the life of people who lived with her in the 19th century and people who came after her. Annie Adams Fields was her longtime friend. Both were women of letters. And when Celia died in 1894, The Atlantic, the magazine of the era, asked Annie to write about Celia. And what Annie chose to write was not that she was erudite or a great poet. She had a little bit of that in there. But what she wrote about was Celia's last days on this earth. And when I read it, I had shivers, because what Annie writes is a very human connection to Celia. This is what she wrote, and you can look it up in the Atlantic. She wrote, "In the quiet loveliness of early summer, Celia went for the last time with a small group of intimate friends to revisit the different parts of the islands and the well-known haunts most dear to her all these years of growing up here. Her friends actually put her in a rowboat and rowed her around the island. The real Celia facts. The days were still and sweet, and Celia lingered lovingly over the old places," Annie writes. Perhaps she knew this was a farewell. And then Annie writes, "How suddenly it seemed that her days with us were ended. She had been listening to music, reading, and then she laid her head down to sleep for the last time. A fond farewell, friends saying goodbye, holding her." This is my takeaway. More than telling of Celia's accomplishments, she did this, many eulogies, she did this, she did that, he did this, he did that. No. Over 100 years ago, Annie Adams Fields, who now rests in Mount Norman Cemetery herself, over 100 years, more than 100 years ago, we celebrate tonight the women who spoke, who gave us their truths. But I also celebrate Celia, Annie Adams Fields, Ruth Coe. We could name all the people on this island that we could celebrate this evening. Fred McGill. And what are we celebrating tonight? What are we celebrating? These words: connection, friendship, caring, and most of all, lasting love. These are the things that continue beyond us. Blessings on all of us.
Thank you, Rosemary. That's what a lovely, lovely remembrance of Celia. I wanted to share with you a few words also about Celia. And I would say that it was nearly 200 years ago that Thomas Layton became the lighthouse keeper. We all rode out on a boat called the Thomas Layton. It's named for Celia's father. He moved his young family to White Island because he had become disillusioned with local politics, and he set his sights on revitalizing the collapsing economy of the local fishermen here on the Shoals. His daughter Celia was about 6 years old and spent her childhood and youth here, surrounded, as was said, by the natural elements of land, sea, and sky. It strongly influenced her development as a writer. And tonight I share a poem published posthumously entitled "The Sunrise Never Failed Us Yet." It seems as timely now as it did then. Upon the sadness of the sea, the sunset broods regretfully. From the far lonely spaces, slow withdraws the wistful afterglow. So out of life the splendor dies, so darken all the happy skies. So gathers twilight, cold and stern. But overhead the planets burn, and up the east another day shall chase the bitter dark away. What though our eyes with tears be wet? The sunrise never failed us yet. The blush of dawn may yet restore our light and hope and joy once more. Sad soul, take comfort, nor forget that sunrise never failed us yet.
This really is close to closing. This is Polly Guile writing, done on a star. She was a minister, an old shoaler, and a good friend. It's called Meditation from Star Island. I wish I were like a rock, sturdy and strong, enduring, polished smooth by the forces that beat against me. A safe place for storm-tossed souls. Sometimes I am. I wish I were like the waters of the sea, flowing and yielding, perfectly fitting the space I'm in, reflecting the sky, but deep and still within the depths that nurture myriad forms of life. Sometimes I am. I wish I were like the sun, bright and warm and life-giving, shining even when the clouds hide me from view, ever faithful, rising and setting in predictable ways. Sometimes I am. I wish I were like the clouds, light-hearted, wispy, multi-shaped in a clear blue sky or soft gray, with balm for parched earth, occasionally dramatic, roiling and angry, demanding attention. Sometimes I am. I wish I were like the wind, fragrant, cool, gently caressing you, blowing soft and sweet over wild roses, or forceful and persistent, holding high an aspiring kite, and filling the sails of those who travel life's precarious ways. Sometimes I am. And I would like to add, sometimes we are.
So has been mentioned by several older women tonight, of which I am a card-carrying member. I didn't bring my glasses. I'm going to try another woman's glasses. We're all in this community together. Let's see if that works. Oh God, it's worse. I'm going to sing Wo Ya Ya. What a group. And it is, and this doesn't work either because it's not, never mind. Thank you, I love you all, but no. If you can see, and I hope you can, Wo Ya Ya is in the teal hymnal, and it is 10:20, and there's a huge stack of teal hymnals right there. And we're only going to sing one verse, and there's not a lot of words, so if you don't want to bother, that's fine. And I wish I could see better, but I used to. All right, so shall we try?